Hold up, did Chrissy Lampkin just lay hands on Mama Jones? Yes, the Mama Jones, Jim Jones' mama, the queen of clapbacks and chaos. Y'all, what in the love and hip-hop multiverse is going on? First, it was passive-aggressive shade. Then it was cryptic Instagram posts. And now it's full-blown hands were thrown at a family event that was supposed to be private and peaceful. Please, like anything involving Chrissy and Mama Jones ever stays classy. But here's the real question. What pushed Chrissy over the edge? Did Mama Jones say one slick thing too many? Or did Chrissy finally snap after years of low-key tension, side eyes, and public disrespect? Was this a long time coming or a setup gone wrong? The streets are on fire. The timelines are flooded. Twitter's throwing popcorn emojis like confetti. And trust me, this ain't just a petty squabble over seating arrangements or potato salad. No, this is betrayal, bitterness, and possibly battery. And y'all already know the footage is missing, the witnesses are whispering, and the tea is boiling hot. But don't worry, we got all the receipts, rumors, and red flags. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you look at this whole family forever. So here's how it all started. Picture this: a quiet, candlelit family gathering at an upscale spot in New Jersey. Real hush-hush vibes, like something out of a Bravo finale. Chrissy and Jim playing it low-key, trying to keep the peace for once. No cameras, no producers, just wine, ambiance, and close-knit, safe circle energy. At least that's what it was supposed to be. Until Mama Jones found out she wasn't on the guest list. And let's just say, she did not take it well. According to insiders, and by insiders, I mean a very chatty cousin who went live by accident, Mama Jones felt straight up disrespected. She allegedly told someone, "So y'all having family dinners now without the mother? Without the matriarch?" You already know that didn't sit right with her spirit. And instead of texting or calling like a normal human being, she decided to pull a full-on Mama Jones move. She showed up, uninvited, in heels, loud and mad as hell. And when she walked in, the vibe in the room shifted like a cold breeze hit the back of everyone's neck. Chrissy was mid-sip of her overpriced Cabernet, probably thinking, here we go again. Jim? He froze like someone unplugged his soul. Now, let me be clear, this wasn't just a dramatic entrance. Mama Jones walked in like she had unfinished business. She made a beeline for Chrissy. No hugs, no hellos, just a whole lot of built-up energy ready to explode. And Chrissy? She didn't flinch, didn't even stand up. Just gave her that look, you know, the one that, I dare you, stare. And that's when it started. Mama Jones goes, "Funny how you smiling now, but you ain't got the guts to invite me to a family event?" Chrissy raises her glass and calmly says, "Funny how you always ruin them." Oof, you could feel the tension crawling up the walls, like bad perfume. People started slowly backing up like they were about to witness a heavyweight fight in stilettos. Mama Jones wasn't having it. She leaned in and whispered something slick, too slick, because the next thing you know, Chrissy stood up real slow like she was giving her body one last warning not to do something reckless. Now, at this point, everybody watching was frozen. Phones were already coming out, but folks weren't even pressing record, they were too stunned. And just when it looked like maybe they'd talk it out like grown women, boom. Mama Jones poked Chrissy in the forehead. You know, the kind of poke that ain't playful? The kind that comes with decades of petty. And that's when Chrissy snapped. She swatted Mama Jones' hand away and said, "Touch me again and see what happens." Mama Jones, never one to back down, said, "Girl, I've been waiting to do this for years." And y'all, that's when it happened. A slap, a loud one, echoed through the venue like a mic drop from God himself. And depending on who you ask, Chrissy swung first. But other people swear it was Mama Jones who went in with the first slap and Chrissy just followed up. Either way, what's confirmed is that somebody got slapped, somebody's wig shifted, and somebody's wine glass definitely hit the floor. Total chaos. Jim finally jumped in like a ref, too late to stop the fight. Security came in confused, guests were screaming, and at least 3 aunties were crying and fanning themselves like they were catching the Holy Ghost. And through it all, Chrissy just adjusted her dress like nothing happened, while Mama Jones yelled, I'm pressing charges. Yes, charges. She was ready to take it there. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, oh baby, the video. That's right, somebody did press record. And that clip. It's floating around in the shadows of the internet like a cursed tape, TMZ sniffing around. The Shade Room got their inbox flooded. Even Hollywood Unlocked allegedly offered cash for the footage. But here's the kicker, the person who filmed it went ghost. Off the grid. Some say they're scared of legal blowback. Others say Chrissy got to them first and paid for silence. But one thing's for sure, that video exists, and if it ever leaks, it's game over for everyone. And here's where things go from petty to problematic. Because now Mama Jones isn't just mad about the slap, she's talking theft. That's right, she's out here telling anybody who will listen that Chrissy has been stealing money from Jim for years. Not months, years. She's talking hidden credit card charges, sneaky withdrawals, property bought in Chrissy's name, and even missing jewelry. Now, do we have hard evidence? Not exactly. But Mama Jones claims she does. She's waving around printed bank statements on Instagram Live, highlighting charges like she's on CSI credit swipe investigation. And people are eating it up. The comments are wild. Not Chrissy out here robbing Jim blind. Mama Jones been new. It's giving scammer chic. And let's be honest, the timing is suspicious. Just a few weeks ago, Jim casually mentioned in an interview that the money ain't the same anymore. He blamed the industry, the economy, streaming numbers, everything but the possibility that someone close might be draining him. And now this? Mama Jones connecting dots like she just discovered conspiracy theory TikTok. Meanwhile, Chrissy is silent. No clapbacks, no shade, not even a wine glass in sight. Which in itself is loud. Because Chrissy not saying anything?
That's
like a storm with no thunder. And the silence is driving the internet wild. Some people think she's guilty. Others think she's planning her comeback. But the streets are talking and the whispers are getting louder. And just when you thought things couldn't spiral any further, something unexpected happened that flipped this whole mess upside down. Out of nowhere, a mysterious email starts circulating among bloggers, gossip pages, and even a few verified accounts. The subject line? Chrissy's secret transactions, proof attached. And inside? Screenshots. Dozens of them. Bank transfers. Venmo payments, credit card activity, all allegedly tied to Chrissy. Some of the charges looked innocent salon appointments, high-end fashion, spa retreats, but others were straight up alarming. $5,000 for consulting? 10 grand labeled furniture storage from a warehouse in a city Jim hasn't even visited in years. One payment even went to a private real estate attorney in Chrissy's hometown, and that's when the speculation exploded. Twitter detectives pulled up public property records and found a home, yes. A whole house bought in Chrissy's name with no mortgage, paid in full. And you guessed it, the purchase date lines up with one of those mysterious transactions. People were now connecting dots faster than a crime show montage. Was Chrissy using Jim's money to secure assets on the side? Planning her exit strategy? Had she been preparing for a breakup this whole time while smiling on camera like everything was fine? Mama Jones went live again, of course. This time surrounded by manila folders like she was a budget Wendy Williams meets FBI informant. She waved around more screenshots saying, "I told y'all." She playing my son like a scratch-off. And then she hit us with the quote of the week. She ain't his partner. She his parasite. Internet. Broke. People were posting memes of Chrissy photoshopped into every scammer documentary poster ever made. Instagram reels popping off with fake reenactments. Even TikTok lawyers jumped in, analyzing the fake bank statements like it was a real court case. One dude in a suit with a fake gavel said, "If this was real, Jim could sue and win back every penny." Meanwhile, Jim Jones? Silent again. Not a peep since that week IG Lev where he said, "Both of them have taken money from me." Which honestly did more harm than good. Now, the question wasn't whether Chrissy was the problem. It was, who's worse? The woman draining your account or the mother dragging you online? Fans were divided. Some people were Team Chrissy, saying she held Jim down for years, Was the only one with him when the label folded, and probably deserved every cent. Others were Team Mama Jones, claiming Chrissy always had a plan and Jim was just too blinded by love or something else to see it. But the twist? Oh, it's a good one. Just when the smoke started to settle, an anonymous user dropped a new bombshell on Reddit under a throwaway account. They claimed to be a former assistant who worked for Jim and Chrissy between 2018 and 2021, and the tea they spilled? Nuclear. According to this so-called assistant, Chrissy had full access to all of Jim's financial accounts. Not just access control. She handled his booking fees, his brand deals, his real estate paperwork, even his taxes. The assistant claimed Chrissy kept 2 phones, one for personal use and one labeled JJ Biz, where she tracked every penny he made. The assistant alleged that Chrissy would regularly pay herself management fees out of Jim's accounts, sometimes $5,000 to $10,000 a month, without ever filing paperwork or explaining what services were actually provided.
And here's
the kicker: the assistant said Mama Jones knew about it for years, but only started speaking up once Jim started tightening the purse strings on her. Woo. Now the plot ain't just thick, it's sticky. So now Chrissy's being painted as the mastermind and Mama Jones as the bitter snitch who kept quiet as long as her own bills were getting paid. And Jim? Well, now he's looking like a clueless wallet in Timberlands. But wait, it gets messy, eh? Just as people started picking sides, another video clip leaks. Not the slap video, nope. Still missing, but a totally separate clip from earlier this year. In it, Jim and Chrissy are arguing at a restaurant, and you can clearly hear Chrissy say, "You wouldn't have half of what you got if it wasn't for me." To which Jim responds, "But you wouldn't have a dime without me." Oop, caught in 4,000. The internet ate it up like Sunday dinner. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. See, they've been toxic. So they both using each other?
this.
Is just a hood version of Succession. Meanwhile, Mama Jones went live again because of course she did, and she was in rare form. This time, she was playing voicemail clips from Chrissy allegedly yelling at Jim. Now, were they real? Unclear. They could have been AI generated for all we know. But Mama Jones said, "She don't love my son. She loved his lifestyle." And with that, the floodgates opened. Other reality stars started chiming in. A Love and Hip Hop cast member who shall not be named claimed, Chrissy once said off camera that she didn't care if Jim ever married her because "I got what I need already." Screenshots of old tweets resurfaced where Chrissy talked about securing the bag first, emotions later. Even former friends began sharing cryptic stories like, "Y'all be surprised who really wear the mask in this industry."
Every
single one of those posts just poured gasoline on the fire. But the cherry on top? Jim's old label mate posted a meme with the caption, "Jim's money got more drama than his mixtapes." That one went viral in under 30 minutes. And through it all, Chrissy stayed mostly silent. Until one night, she broke her quiet streak with a single Instagram story that said, "When people can't control you, they try to control the story." No pictures. No tags, just plain text. And that's when fans really lost it. Was she denying everything? Throwing shade at Mama Jones? Clapping back at Jim? Nobody knew, and that mystery just made people want more. Blogs doubled down. YouTubers made hour-long exposes. Even radio hosts started referring to Chrissy and Mama Jones as the East Coast Kardashians. And all of it was spiraling fast, out of control, like a messy soap opera that had no commercial breaks. And just when it seemed like things were starting to finally burn out, someone came forward with receipts so wild, they left even the people were calling it the smoking gun. Overnight, the story went from wild gossip to a full-blown financial scandal. Every major gossip page picked it up, and by sunrise, mainstream media was sniffing around the mess. People started asking whether Jim might be in serious legal trouble for unknowingly allowing fraudulent activity on his business accounts, and whether Chrissy could actually face charges if the documents were proven legitimate. And here's the wildest part: none of this looked like a smear campaign by Mama Jones anymore. The leaks weren't coming from her. In fact, even she went live looking confused, saying, "I didn't even know about this part, but I knew that girl wasn't clean." She even started crying on camera, claiming, "I've been trying to save my son from her for years." And for once, it seemed like people were finally starting to believe her. The comments section turned from clowning her to saying things like, "Yo, Mama Jones might have been loud, but she wasn't wrong." And Chrissy been playing chess while Jim was playing checkers. Jim, meanwhile, looked like he was unraveling. Paparazzi caught him outside a studio with his hoodie up, chain tucked in, and visibly irritated. When asked by a reporter if he believed the financial leaks, he mumbled something about handling things privately and kept it moving, but that was enough. Enough to suggest that he knew something wasn't right. Enough to make people wonder whether his silence wasn't loyalty, but guilt or shame. And just when the narrative seemed set in stone, another twist yanked the story sideways. An ex of Chrissy's, yes, an ex appeared in a podcast interview and dropped a bomb. He claimed Chrissy once told him that Jim's never going to leave me because I'm the only one who knows where the bodies are buried, financially. He went on to say that she bragged about being the brain behind their empire, and that she made sure everything was tied up in ways that always led back to her. Whether or not that was true didn't matter. It added just enough fuel to make people rethink everything they thought they knew. Think about it, Chrissy, once painted as the ride-or-die girlfriend who never got her ring, now being seen as the puppet master behind the curtain. Mama Jones, once dismissed as a bitter, overbearing mom, suddenly looking like the only person willing to speak up. Jim Jones, the rapper who once ran Harlem, now looking like a man trapped between two forces he can't control. And as the smoke cleared, it became obvious this wasn't just drama, it was a breakdown of a brand, a relationship, and a public image that had been carefully crafted for years. Reality TV fans, hip-hop heads, financial watchdogs, everyone was watching now. People started calling for Jim to lawyer up. Financial advisors went viral saying he needed a forensic audit. Former castmates from Love and Hip Hop chimed in with vague posts that seemed to confirm behind-the-scenes shady behavior. And then because this saga wasn't messy enough, Chrissy finally returned with a bombshell of her own. She posted a cryptic but pointed message, "Funny how quiet folks were when I built everything. Now everybody loud when they think I'm burning it down." Attached to the post was a photo of her standing in front of what looked like a real estate development project luxury. Apartments in progress, blueprints in her hand, construction hat on. The caption? "Stay mad, I'm still building." That sent her supporters into overdrive. They said she was just a woman who handled business while her man coasted. That Jim wouldn't have half of what he had without her. That people couldn't handle a strong woman in control. But her critics weren't having it. They flooded her page with snake emojis and called her out for using Jim's fame and finances to prop herself up while acting innocent the whole time. And then came the moment nobody saw coming. Jim unfollowed Chrissy, just like that. No public statement, no subtweets, just a digital middle finger heard around the world. That was all the confirmation people needed. Rumors started swirling that they had officially split, that legal teams were involved, that Jim was pulling back his finances and calling in professionals to dig through the wreckage. And Mama Jones? She went live again, this time not yelling, not crying, just sipping tea and smirking while reading comments like, "She warned him, and Mama always knows." Chrissy went radio silent again. No posts, no stories. Meanwhile, Jim posted a black screen with just one sentence. "When trust is gone, so is everything else." And that was it. No names, no tags. But everybody knew exactly who he meant. This wasn't just a celebrity spat anymore. This was the kind of fallout that ruins reputations, fractures families, and forces people to take sides. Whether Chrissy is the villain or the victim depends on who you ask. Whether Mama Jones is a whistleblower or a messy instigator is still up for debate. But one thing is clear, this family will never be the same again, and the internet, it's not letting go of this story anytime soon. So now that all the tea has been spilled, the drama laid bare, and the truth, or at least everyone's version of it, is out in the open, we need to hear from you. Are you Team Chrissy, holding it down for years and finally clapping back with boss moves? Or are you riding with Mama Jones, the only one bold enough to call things out before it was too late? And what about Jim? Do you think he's just caught in the crossfire? Or has he been ignoring the red flags this whole time? This ain't just celebrity gossip, this is a full-blown cautionary tale about loyalty, trust, and what happens when family and finances get tangled in the messiest ways possible. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because we know y'all got opinions. Was Chrissy really finessing the bag? Did Mama Jones do too much? Or is this all one big misunderstanding gone viral? Let's talk about it. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because if you think this saga is over, you're dead wrong. We've got our eyes peeled for every update, every leak, and every shady post. You won't want to miss what happens. Next, stay tuned.